The ASCO annual meeting. My name is Dean Frohlich. I'm the Scientific Review Officer at the Conquer Cancer Foundation. Just a brief overview of what we'll be going through today. So the program is divided into three parts. The first part are a series of talks designed to give you advice on how to write your grants. The second part is a mock study session, and we'll be running the mock study session just as though it is a review at the foundation review meeting. And then lastly, we'll have a round table discussions in which we'll have 2 faculty members per table. After 20 minutes, we'll alert everyone, and then we'll have you switch tables so that you have the opportunity to speak to as many faculty members as possible. So I'll begin with my program or my presentation. So the Conquer Cancer Foundation grants has a over 30-year history. It started with a $16,000 grant to Dr. Judith Cower in 1984. And as you can see, we've grown throughout the years. We had a little dip here in the 2012-2013 time frame, but we're once again giving out approximately 80 grants and awards. At the Conquer Cancer Foundation, our grants are geared towards career development, of which we emphasize 4. We have a Young Investigator Award, Career Development Award, Advanced Clinical Research, and Research Professorships. And I'll go through each of these later in my presentation. First, though, excuse me, I'd like to go over our other grants and awards. So we have a medical student rotation, which provides 8 to 10 week clinical or clinical research oncology rotation, plus funding to travel to the ASCO annual meeting that we give out each year. You get $5,000 for the rotation itself, $1,500 for travel to the meeting, and the mentor gets $2,000 as well. And that is usually, letters of intent for that usually go out in November. Second, we have the Resident Travel Award, and this supports residents from underrepresented populations to attend the ASCO annual meeting. This gives $1,500 for the travel, and applications begin in mid-November. We also have an International Development and Education Award. This provides support for early career oncologists in low and middle income countries. Recipients attend the annual meeting and then participate in a post-meeting visit to the mentor's institution in the US or Canada. The recipients of this award also receive 3 years of complimentary ASCO membership, including a subscription to the Journal of Clinical Oncology. And this usually opens in the beginning of October. The Long-Term International Fellowship provides early career oncologists in developing nations the support and resources needed to advance their training by deepening their relationship with an ongoing colleague in the United States or Canada. It's a 1-year fellowship. Recipients must return to their country of origin or their home institutions after completing the international fellowship, and then are expected to disseminate the knowledge that they have gained, and this is included in their progress reports. And we follow up with those people as well to ensure that they are going to disseminate and that they do follow up and go back to their home countries. The International Innovation Grant is our newest grant. It provides funding to support novel and innovative projects focused on low and middle income countries. And this is a 1-year research grant of up to $20,000. And that project needs to take place, and the oncologists need to be practicing in the country that they're submitting from. And those open in early July. And lastly, the Clinical Trials Participation Award is designed to recognize and promote high-quality clinical research sites with the intent to increase the awareness of and participation in clinical trials among physicians. So first with the research professorships. These are topic-specific competitions designed to provide flexible funding to outstanding researchers who have made and are continuing to make significant contributions that have changed the direction of cancer research, and to provide mentorship to junior researchers. So this is a $500,000 award over 5 years, and the purpose is to help these professors mentor the next generation of oncologists. Previous professorships have been awarded in comparative effectiveness research, drug development, and translational research. The Advanced Clinical Research Award is also a topic-specific competition, and it's designed to fund investigators who are in their 4th to 9th year of full-time faculty appointment in a clinical department at an academic institution at the time of the research submission. Past topics have included breast cancer, colorectal cancer, hematologic malignancies, lung cancer, and sarcoma. The research must have a patient-oriented focus and include research, study, and/or translational research involving human subjects. Proposals with a predominant focus on in vitro or animal studies, even if clinically relevant, are not allowed. This is a 3-year cancer research grant, and it totals $450,000. So the Career Development Award is our second largest grant. This year we were able to give out 11 CDAs. This provides funding to investigators who have received their initial faculty appointment and allows them to establish independent clinical cancer research programs. It's a 3-year grant totaling $200,000. The applicant must be a physician, an MD-DO, or the international equivalent, who is in the 1st to 3rd year of full-time primary faculty appointment. And for our purposes, an instructor position is satisfactory. Grant applications from candidates with existing career development awards, such as K23, K08, or other career development awards along the same lines from private organizations, are not considered. We also don't allow overlap with our Young Investigator Awards. So if a Young Investigator were to submit and win the award, they would have to relinquish the remaining funds of their YIA before accepting the CDA. So the CDA needs to be of clinical research relevance, and ASCO's definition of clinical research is a hypothesis-driven research that employs measurements in whole patients or normal human subjects in conjunction with laboratory measurements as appropriate on the subjects of clinical biology, natural history, prevention, screening, diagnosis, therapy, or the epidemiology of neoplastic disease. Proposals with a predominant focus on in vitro or animal studies, once again, even if clinically relevant for the CDA, are not allowed. One note is that health services research is included in our definition of clinical research. Lastly is the Young Investigator Award. This is our largest award. This year we were able to give out 58 Young Investigator Awards. This is a 1-year grant totaling $50,000 with a mandatory mentorship requirement. The applicant must be a physician, an MD, DO, or international equivalent again, who is within the last 2 years of his or her final subspecialty training at an academic medical institution at the time of grant submission. And we give out awards to all subspecialties of oncology research clinical or translational. This one, as opposed to the clinical or the career development award, can involve in vitro or animal studies, but it must be clearly clinically oriented, so that it's obvious to the reviewers that in a short period of time that this could move to the clinic. So it's probably a little hard to see all the subject areas here, but we've broken down the YAs and CDA subject areas according to the annual meeting track. So you can see we give out grants to a wide variety of subspecialties, although leukemia and breast cancer are routinely the highest frequency. The percentages vary from year to year, but generally they stick around this percentage. So online applications for the CDAs and YAs open July 1st of this year. They're due September 24th of this year. However, we do allow supplemental uploads of relevant materials, such as if you get a letter of support from a company for a drug, or letters of recommendation, or not recommendation, but IRB approvals. We'll accept those until October 5th. The website to go for our online grant submission is grants.conquercancerfoundation.org. For downloadable RFPs and a link to the online application, you can go to conquercancerfoundation.org/YA or CDA. We do not accept late applications, and please do not wait until the last week before they're due. Mentors, sponsors, and institutional approvers all need to upload documents before the deadline, otherwise they're not accepted. And if you wait too long, they are not able to get those materials in on time. So I'd like to go over a few common application problems that we see at Conquer Cancer Foundation. First are feasibility issues. So oftentimes we'll get the application, there'll be a protocol. However, there's no letter of commitment from the pharma company. There are no letters of collaboration or letters of support from collaborators. IRB approvals are not necessary at that time, but are very helpful. So those are the big issues with feasibility. Additionally, we oftentimes see overambitious protocols. If it's a one-year grant, you're expected to get the whole project done within that year. So if you have a large phase 2 trial, or that most likely won't accrue within the year, and you won't be able to do the analysis within that time frame. So reviewers will dock for that. The application's role in the project is unclear. Be sure to annotate your role in the conception and design of the project. Often we hear comments from reviewers that it looks like it's the PI or the mentor's application that have been copied and pasted into a new application for you, and there's no evidence, or there's lacking evidence that the applicant has been involved at all in the conception and design of the project, and that also detracts from the score. No mentoring plan on how the applicant will be trained. We'll hear more about this in later talks. However, the applicant needs to be sure to have a full and thoughtful and fully fleshed out mentoring plan designed. And lastly, you don't follow, or second to last, don't follow the RFP. So when we say that it needs to be clinically focused, it needs to have a clear relevance to clinical research as described earlier. And this is all in the RFP, the description. Additionally, we've had a difficulty with applicants not having fully fleshed out thoughtful biostatistical plans. We've redesigned, as I'll talk about in a moment, we've redesigned the instructions and the request for proposal or the application to try to alleviate this. But biostatistics is extremely important, as one of the 3 reviewers in the initial review is a biostatistician, and if you don't have a good biostatistical plan, you're not going to be scored well. The application was not clear and concise, and oftentimes it's the applications are vague or not thoroughly thought through. There are elements that are missing, so just be sure they're not very long applications, and so they need to be concise and fully fleshed out in a thoughtful and presented in a thoughtful manner. So new for 2016, for the CDA applicants, we have a new upload for advancing patient-focused research. And in that, we have 3 questions that focus on how the research will affect patients and how patients will view the research being done. And so this is a 2-page maximum upload, and we, as an organization, want to ensure that the investigators are focusing on the patients. Additionally, as I mentioned before, we have a revised biostatistical plan instructions. We've tried to ensure that these are clear and will apply to the vast majority of applicants. Additionally, along the biostatistical with the plan, previously it's been part of the research plan. However, we've separated it out, and now it's a required 1-page plan by itself, so that you're able to fully articulate the plan and ensure that there's sufficient room for ensuring that you are able to articulate the plan properly. Lastly, we highly encourage applicants to consult with biostatisticians as they design their protocol and their application. So we've given the option for a letter of support from a biostatistician that you're working with. I'd highly, highly, highly encourage this, as it ensures that you'll have the biostatistical power necessary to generate good results. Lastly, this year we're instituting an online survey of the workshop. So we have several questions. We also have hard copies in the back if you prefer to fill it out with paper and hand it to us at the end. Additionally, we have a sign-up sheet. If you would just sign your name and your email address, we can send you the survey as well. We'd appreciate your feedback on the workshop. So that's all I've got. Are there any questions?